don't think they can hear. Yo, what's good, everybody? Can you hear us?
What's up? I feel like we're like, we got a lot going on this evening.
We do. We're trying to do this this whole Instagram thing, but I don't think it's gonna work out because we're not in the middle, and it's two of us, and we can't get a landscape.
It's not in the middle,
right?
It's
so
literally like you got to be like, okay, I'm talking, and then. Yeah, that probably is not going to work.
All right, so we're going to end the Instagram live. Hopefully you can catch us on Facebook or you catch us on YouTube. So we'll end this until we get it figured out how we can start streaming on Instagram.
Yeah, that was good, though. We tried. Hey, everyone on Facebook and YouTube. We were trying to see if we could... We were trying to see if we could have done the three platforms, but it seems as though not so much. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Can we talk like we're good?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, okay.
We're good. We're Gucci.
Hey, family. Welcome. It just feels weird because now this is like there.
Yeah.
But you're going to move it out. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead as our norm. We go ahead and shout out those that are watching. So if you can type in the chat for those of you who are watching with us, I see I am the man says, yo, I am the man. Who are you? Who are you? I am the man. It would be cool if we could see who you are, but we'll just say I am the man. Maybe they want to stay incognito.
Fashion friends unite. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. So I am the man. Definitely you are the man because you're talking about fashion friends uniting. What's good?
Oh my gosh. Happy Sabbath. Happy Friday, everyone. We are in the space, in the house. It's been weeks since we've been in this space. You all know life has a way of, being unpredictable and you just kind of have to flow with it. And we know we've been a bit negligent on this platform, but we still here. We're here. We are here, folks. Athneo, happy Sabbath. Give you your shout out. Thanks for joining us as usual. We are just really happy to be in this space again with you all. So, how was your week, Jamie? How was your week?
My week was...
Oh, you paused I was like, wait a minute.
I had to think about it. I'm just trying to... it's like... It's better... I think it's better when you ask, how was your day? Because I don't remember really a lot about what I do the week. I think mostly my weeks are just a lot of meetings.
Okay.
Talking to different people, helping other people, things like that, contributing. But today was actually... a chill day. I was
as you yawn.
just thinking about today. I just think about going to sleep.
Mercy, Jesus, help him, Lord.
Yeah, it's all good. That's what the body was created to rest. How was your day? How was your week?
I had a pretty good week. Last week we were on Cloud 50 in Atlanta, so that felt really good to almost felt like a retreat, for lack of a better word. It just felt really good to be in the space, in community. And I think that was a really good way to start my week, right? I started it on a high where I was just like, oh my gosh, we had the most amazing time. So I had a pretty good week.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah, and I think that was the icing on the cake, hanging out with the Knights, worshiping at Revision.
Yes, Revision, y'all. Revision.
Always going on over there. So that was great. That was wonderful just to be in a different atmosphere, different space, just to worship and just enjoying Atlanta. I don't think I've really ever enjoyed Atlanta that much.
That's true. It feels like we're always in and out. There's not a it's not like there is some sort of it just seems always like we're in and out. We're never really exploring. We didn't get to explore it as much before, but I feel like this time we got a pretty good feel of it. Atlanta.
Yeah, shout out to Roomies.
Shout out to Rubies.
If you
are in Atlanta, in Georgia, Make your way to Rumi.
Yeah, if you don't know, you better ask somebody.
Oh my gosh. Like I'm
Rumi's.
literally having all sorts of withdrawals.
Rumi's is that restaurant. What did you have?
I think first of all, it's the appetizers for me. So I love, not that I love appetizers, but I love their appetizers. They had like the corn ribs with the butter and the jalapeno in there, and then they had the hummus, mushroom hummus, and then it was the warm pita bread, and then it was the potatoes and I'm having a moment even as I speak about it, and it's been about a week since we have had it, so so good.
Yeah.
So good. But we're not here to talk about food. What's up, Nikolai? Nikolai said y'all have swag. Thanks,
yo. Shout out, Nikolai.
Yo, let me tell you, we got the best compliment anyone has given us in a very long time. The best compliment. So we're in the airport in Atlanta. I don't have anything special on. I'm just literally in my whatever, my airport attire, whatever. And Jamie was chill too. He was like wearing some regular stuff, right? Let me tell you. We were going to the TSA officer, minding our business. And this is after she checked us, right? Was this after?
No, we were just...
No, it was after. It was after. Like, she checked our IDs or whatever, our tickets or whatever. And she's like, y'all not from around here. And we were just like, okay. She was like, y'all not from here. And we're like, yeah, you're right. She's hyped, right? And we're just like, she's like... Let me guess.
She's like, I'm getting vibes.
She was like, I'm getting vibes. And she was like, let me guess. She was like, y'all from New York, right? And I was like, I was hyped, y'all. I was like, that's like the best compliment ever. It's been such a long time since people are like, you look like you're from New York. So I was a lot hyped, y'all. I was hyped because I was just like, yo, I am seen as a New Yorker. I still got my swag. So thank you, Nikolai. Sorry. All right. Marquise Jackson says, I live in South Carolina, but ATL isn't too far away. So Jamie just went ahead and posted it inside of the chat. RUMI. That's what it apostrophe asks. Rumi's.
Yo,
That's the spot right
Anderson said next time we're in Atlanta, we need to pull up.
Oh my gosh. You know what it is? It's like crazy. I don't think I've wrapped my head around the fact that you guys are no longer in New York. Like, you guys are now in Georgia. So my bad. Next time for sure, we got to link up.
I did not know. We were telling them,
kids.
all roads meet at Revision, because that's where.
It's true. But they probably didn't know.
Yeah, they didn't know. It wasn't advertised, I guess, in advance.
And Atlanta is probably one of those places where like everything is so far apart.
Facts.
Georgia, I should say. I keep saying Atlanta, but Georgia, things are so far apart. So it's kind of hard to get from one place to the next. So I get it. But next time for sure. Emma, I'm going to link with you, girl. I'm going to link with you. Yes. So, okay. So I hope you guys had a good week. So I have a question for you guys to kind of, we want to talk about before we get into our subject of what happens when you don't feel appreciated in a marriage. Because real talk, we sometimes all feel at one time or another. So we're going to talk about that. But here's the question. The question is, do you think phones should or should not be in the bedroom? Do you think phones should or should not be in the bedroom or belong in the bedroom?
Are you asking me or are you asking the people?
I'm asking the people. I want to know what they think. So let us know in the comments. Do you think that phones belong in the bedroom? Do you think it's a good idea that phones are in the bedroom at night? Or do you think it's it's a bad idea? Wait, do you think it's a good idea or do you think it's a bad idea? So I'm going to let it ruminate a little bit. I would love to know what you guys think about this. And then we're going to chime in because I have a lot to say. I don't know if Jamie has a lot to say, but I have a lot to say. So We'll wait for you all to put in the chat. What do you think? What do you think? Should the phones be? Does the phone belong in the bedroom?
Inquiring minds would like to know. What is your answer?
Yes.
Dude,
Yes.
how much time are you gonna give them? Okay, Marquise was number one. Yes, the holy and righteous one. Marquise says it's a bad idea. Can be a distraction from communication.
Okay.
Facts.
Okay.
Should not be.
Okay. Othniel said should not be. Okay.
Right. We got two people who say it should not be. There's out of the 16 people that are watching.
Yeah, I'm interested to know. Those are two guys said no, bad idea, which is interesting because I would assume that, men would probably say, no, we need it. I need it in the bedroom. So it's very interesting that both of them said that. All right. So while we wait, let's go ahead and what's your opinion?
They shouldn't be in the bedroom, but I don't know. No, I mean, okay, so I kind of look at it, should a TV be in the bedroom?
Well, this is just phones, because honestly, that's probably something that we can talk about as well. But mainly the phone. Do you think the phone should be in the bedroom?
Okay, all right. I would say it shouldn't be in the bedroom. I would say that it can be in the bedroom, but I agree with Teddy, as long as it doesn't take away from important conversation. So it's like if there's a moment of intimacy and a moment of, it shouldn't be what's the word? Like, you shouldn't be so attached to it that you can't detach from it for your spouse.
Got it.
My phone is my clock. How I have it set up. Like, that's how I look over and I see what time it is, how I have it on the stand.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Marquise.
Marquise.
Yeah, he be correcting me in seminary, and I always say Marquise.
Wait a minute. Okay. Marquise.
Yes, my guy.
Cam says, nope. She said it should not be. Charge it outside of I guess they charge it outside of their room.
Oh, nice.
So
I know about the health disparities with it too.
Yeah. So let's be honest. We do not have our phones outside of the bedroom as yet.
It'd be all up in the room.
As yet. I saw this come across. Happen. Well, this kind of like topic come across, and I was just like, I'm interested to know what our viewers think. But I think it's worth a conversation for sure for us because we don't have a TV in our bedroom. We used to, but we stopped having a TV in our bedroom because we felt like it was a distraction for conversation, intimacy, and stuff like that. And like, you fall asleep watching the TV, and then it's like, when one person is up watching TV, the other one is knocked out, and the light, and it just was not. It was just something that we both decided like we didn't need in our bedroom. But I do think that I could see how the phone not being there, or actually being on do not disturb. Like, I could see, like, when you get in the bed, that it's something that you do not bring in the bed with you, but you just kind of let it be, so that it gives opportunity for you to do creative things, right? Whether it is through conversation or sex or even you doing your own thing. You know what I mean? Like, you focusing on doing something creative. I don't know.
Right. So, Katia, I believe I hope I'm saying that correctly, says, from medical perspective, what if the husband or the wife has a heart attack during intimacy? It should be nearby. Okay, during intimacy, holla, horns.
That's some serious listening. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's probably not something to joke about.
That's probably not. It isn't.
That could have probably really happened. That's for real. But yeah, so So I asked, so let me ask this question. What would you prefer? A TV in the room or a phone in the room?
I think a phone in the room, but it should be on do not disturb. It should be there for emergencies, as you just stated, Katia. We hope that you were saying your name correctly. If not, if you could just clap it out for us, we'll be sure to do it. But I do feel that it should be on do not disturb. It shouldn't be a distraction, because it's easy for you to get into the bed, get comfortable, get on social media and start scrolling, right? Or sometimes for me, I can't sleep. And what do I do? Because it's right there on my nightstand, I just grab it and I'm doing stuff on the phone to keep me distracted or keep me up. So I don't know. I think if it's in the room, it should be on do not disturb.
Interesting. So Dorian and Cam have interesting perspective. Dorian says, is it realistic since our phones are more than a phone? It's an alarm clock, an alarm setting, light switch. That's right. We got the home kit on our phone, so we turn off our lights and all of that with that. So not saying yes or no, just add another perspective. And Cam took it back. She was like, we got to analog clock set our alarms.
Okay. If it's there, put in a corner far away from the bed.
Now, I have heard that you don't get a good night's rest.
Yeah.
When you're scrolling on the phone right before you go to sleep.
Yeah.
Or if you're on your computer, that it does help with your sleeping to not have it.
I've heard of that as well.
Not to be on it right before you go to bed.
Yeah. I've heard of that as well. I feel like when you are like trying to come down and from a stressful day that, you kind of try to, I think they say like an hour or so before bedtime, like not watching TV, not being on your phones, that you kind of have a routine to help you sleep better. I did hear about that.
Cam, can you drop a link to your alarm clock?
For real, you say got a light and sound machine on it, girl.
Is it a karaoke machine too? So, yeah, you want to read Samantha?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so Samantha says, I find it challenging to have my phone on DND, do not disturb, when you have elderly parents. I need to be accessible. I think it depends on the purpose of the phone.
Okay, I can see that.
These are good perspectives. Yep.
I can see that. I think it's trying to limit the distraction. Like if you're using it for emergency purposes, right? It needs to be right next to your nightstand. I think it's important to then say, I'm not going to scroll on my phone, right, while I'm in the bed with my spouse, or if I'm in the bed with myself, I'm not going to scroll. I'm just going to kind of maybe I can read my Bible. Maybe I can read a devotional. Maybe I can do other creative things other than being on my phone. So
I think that's the other question. Is it proper to be scrolling while you're in bed? Because I do sometimes. I know for us, we don't have a TV in our room, but I don't have an issue with couples that have a TV in their room, because sometimes it can be a time of intimacy. If you want to watch a movie together, you want to catch up on your show together, that you can't watch in the living room if you have children or things like that, that can be, moments together, right? But is it proper to scroll on your phone while you are in bed? Should you be scrolling TikTok, IG, Facebook?
You know how I already feel about that. For the most part, I think I have to have a routine with almost like taking myself away from that, because I feel like my mind will continue to keep going if I don't have a routine of slowly not watching certain things at night. Being mindful of that, like what happens to my brain when I watch a movie or a show that is like watching, what's the show? The cop show. Chicago PD or
Bad Boys.
SVU, right? Like those kind of shows, I realize like I can't watch before going to bed. It does not do well. My mind does not do well. So being mindful of that, I think the scrolling piece, it is hard for you sometimes to stop scrolling, especially if you're in the bed. Like you can find yourself and maybe a half an hour or an hour later, you're still scrolling and you're just like, okay, I'm going to stop. But the more you say you're going to stop is the more you keep scrolling. So I personally do not like the scrolling in the bed for the most part, because first of all, if it's a reel or if it's TikTok, the person is laughing mad loud, laughing or
I
trying
don't
to
laugh.
or this is what you do. You laugh, but it's like very like but
funny.
it's disturbing. so I personally would say no to scrolling in the bed.
Yeah, I like Teddy's response, right? Teddy's response is straightforward. This is an individual couple decision. If a phone or TV is a distraction, then don't have them. I lay in bed watching Hallmark movies with my wife, and that's intimacy.
That's true. You're building intimacy by
That's right.
doing something
Yeah.
together that you both enjoy.
Yeah, Katia says a phone should be on standby for emergencies. As mentioned, however, there is no TV in the room. A phone or a TV shouldn't be between a husband and wife in the bedroom. Maybe there should be a rule to put the phone down when inside the bedroom. And that's right. And that's true. Marquise, could the device also be hindering your spouse from getting the sleep that they need, especially if they are light sensitive?
Exactly.
And Killer Cam with the scientific instruction. Scientifically, it takes your brain a while to shut down. So taking a break from your phone before getting ready for bed is helpful.
I agree. I agree to that. But everyone is not the same, right?
No.
Everybody's different. So thank you, Brother Lyle, Teddy Lyle. I'm so glad that I got to meet you for the first time this past weekend.
Yeah.
That was super cool.
That's
But
the home. He always comes through. Always comes through.
But to your point, I think it all depends on the family. It all depends on the couple. It's whatever y'all do. There's no right or wrong per se. It's just whatever it is that you choose.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot for relationships. I think every relationship has different boundaries, different rules and sets, and it's what works for you.
Yep.
I don't think there's one standardized rule for it when certain things when it comes to how you and your spouse, the decisions that you and your spouse make.
Yes. And one of the decisions that I think in marriage, I think it's important to not take your spouse for granted, right? Not being sure that in your marriage that you make an effort to, to put your partner, on as priority, like you prioritize your relationship. And so that's essentially what we're going to be talking about tonight. How do we avoid taking our spouses for granted? If we're honest with ourselves in this platform, and we're pretty straightforward when it comes to talks like this. In the past, I have felt like I was being taken for granted in different parts of our marriage, different parts. I felt like I was being taken not advantage,
Right.
but I wasn't appreciated.
Underappreciated.
There it is, not advantage. I was taking advantage.
Yeah, I putting out information on the
I was like,
on
wait
the
a minute,
internet.
advantage. I was like, sometimes you do take. Matter of fact, that's not for tonight. But anyway, but in which way?
You behave yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna try. Yeah. So go ahead.
No, I think I honestly believe in every relationship that there are moments when one person can feel like they are underappreciated for what they do, or for how they do certain things. So I think that's something that generally comes up, or sometimes doesn't even come up. That some people, like myself, I won't say anything. I'll just keep it moving. I'll just keep it. Well, you know what? Whatever, and I'll keep it as that because I feel like it's what's the word? How do I describe it? Like, I don't feel like it's necessary to bring up in a marriage to be like, yo, I feel underappreciated. Like, this is what I'm supposed to do. So I'm supposed to do it without a thank you, or supposed to do it without an acknowledgement, which I don't think is healthy.
No.
I think it's healthy to do it, but I don't think it's healthy to do it. I don't think it's healthy to train your mind to say that I'm doing it, that I'm okay without a thank you, or man, I'm having trouble expressing myself tonight.
Oh, take your time, baby. Take
No,
your
I think
time.
I got it. I think people understand, but I don't think it's healthy to demean yourself to the point where it's like you're not that you're asking for it, but to kind of ignore your feelings of what you want. Like, I think you should be healthy enough to be like, you know what? I wish you would have said thank you in this moment. Right? Not just like suppress it.
Yes. I think in the beginning of our marriage, I definitely did not know how to communicate when I felt like I was being taken for granted, because I didn't want to feel like I was nagging, or I didn't want to feel like I was, putting on you more than you already had. So it was one of those things like, I'm going to suppress this feeling for a little bit, and hopefully one day he'll be able to understand, or maybe he'll be able to see, or he'll come to a realization that I am missing his affirmation, or missing something to make me feel, not taken for granted.
So did that moments when you felt like that, did you feel resentment?
That's the thing. Yes. Resentment definitely starts to creep in. And if not careful, right? If I'm not careful, if I'm not nipping it in the bud, or I'm not creating a narrative about you and about your inability to see me, right? Then resentment and that stuff kind of eats away at the core. And then it's like, wait a minute, like all it really takes, honestly, and that's something that I've learned in the course of our marriage, and being comfortable enough to say, hey, and express myself. I feel like that is what really has helped. And that's really what makes the difference in being able to verbally say, yo, I'm feeling a little bit like I'm doing things and it doesn't feel like you are appreciating it. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that, I think it first begins with being comfortable enough to bring that to your spouse, even when you feel like you shouldn't have to, right? Because if you're doing all these things and then you feel like you're being taken for granted, the last thing you want to do is tell the person that you feel like they're taking you for granted. It should be something that they should just know. I just assume that you're supposed to know this, like you're in tune to me, so you're supposed to know. And then when you don't know, and then when resentment comes into play, then you realize, no, all it takes is for me to say, hey, bro, I feel like ... and I feel like that's what makes the difference, being able to communicate that.
Right. I agree with you. I think I also agree with Cam. Like, no one's a mind reader, right? Communication. Right. And with Teddy, unspoken issues that are not settled are swept under the rug. And then eventually those issues and that rug just gets to the point where it can't hold anymore. Have you ever felt like in those moments when you were underappreciated that you just wanted to stop doing whatever you were doing?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Yeah. I think it's a little bit of both. Like, there will be some times where I'm like, I don't want to do this no more. I'm not doing this particular thing anymore, because clearly he's not seeing it. Clearly he's not, saying thank you or whatever. I want to stop doing it, but I realize, the maturity in me says, I'm not going to be petty. I'm not going to stop because of this. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to talk and tell him like, hey, I'm doing this thing and you're not saying anything. And so I feel like innately, like within me, the first response is to stop. But I realize that it's bigger than me, that I have to be mature enough to be able to express myself, because there could be so much going on with you that I'm unaware of, right? That you're processing or thinking about a whole bunch of other stuff. And it's not like you're doing it on purpose. And I think that's important too. Knowing that your spouse has your best interest at heart. They're not trying to hurt you. They're not trying to overlook you, but they just have a lot going on. So a gentle reminder often is what helps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you. So throwing it out to the audience as well. Chime in at any time as we continue to talk. Like anybody that's in a relationship, and let's not even like, even with parent, children, whatever kind of like, how do you deal with, or have you ever felt, how do you deal with feeling underappreciated, and how do you deal with it? What do you do? Do you just keep it moving, or do you pull away, or do you say something?
Now, what do you do? Well, I think you express what you do.
Right. I pretty much just don't say nothing. And if it's between us, I probably won't say anything. I'll just keep on doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. But if it's outside, if it's work, or it's another situation outside the marriage, I will be like those people that either silently quit, or I'll just stop altogether and just forget about it. And I think that's probably like the non-confrontational nature about me. But if you ask me, I'll say something, but I'm not going to volunteer
that information to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's a little scary too on this end, because if the person can't read your mind, if, you are the only one that's pretty much able to express whatever it is that you're feeling, then I think it's so important for you to be able to express that.
Yeah. I'm going to make an assumption and say that probably most men would not say, I feel underappreciated.
Really? You don't think most men would say, hey, I'm not feeling appreciated by you?
I think until it gets, maybe when it gets to a tipping point or a boiling point, I'm going to make that assumption.
Men, please chime in, because I'm interested to know. Hey, Gamal.
Yeah, Marquise said exactly. So I'm wondering if he's saying exactly to the point that I made. Gamal, stand-up comedian. We want to see some clips. What's up, Gamal?
Okay. So you're saying men don't typically say what it is when they feel like they're not being appreciated. They feel like they're being taken for granted.
I don't know if it's like we'll feel like we're being taken for granted. I personally feel like how I'm wired in a way to say, like, if I see you're happy, if I see that the kids are happy, then I'm just going to keep it moving. I'm going to be like, yeah, you could, in my head, I'll probably be like, man, you could have said thank you, but I'm going to just keep it moving because I just feel like that's what I need to do. And I feel like I don't need the thank you or I appreciate you to make me continue what I'm doing. But I am going to say that it is appreciated when the spouse does say, thank you, I appreciate you, I affirm you. It's a weird dichotomy.
Dynamic.
Yeah, weird dynamic.
So the same question you posed to me, that when you don't feel like you're appreciated, you're saying that you won't stop the action or stop whatever it is that you're doing. You would just continue going, keeping on.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I would volunteer it. Maybe if we had a conversation and you brought it up, then maybe I'll say it. But I'm not gonna do something, or like if let's just say something random. If I open the door for you and you sit down and I close the door for you and I come in the car and you don't say thank you, I'm not going to be driving around like, man, she could have said thank you for doing that.
The first time, you probably won't say that. But what if it's something that is done all the time, essentially more than, let's say, 10 times? What happens then?
I think I would have trained my brain to know that you don't say thank you for that.
But would you feel unappreciated?
No, I don't think I'd feel unappreciated, because I can see that you like it. If I can see that you enjoy it, I can see that you feel honored, you feel respected by it. So I can see on your face, I can see on your facial expression that you appreciate it and you're thankful for it.
So okay, let's go to the comments, because I'm like interested now. I'm like, ooh, this is good. Let's go to Marquis says, we don't want to express our feelings. Gamal says, when men talk, it's often seen as complaining, so we keep it pushing. So long as everybody is good, all is well. And that's what you were saying. Marquis says, I hope that my actions are evident enough to be noticed and verbally expressed. Gamal says, no man is going to keep asking for appreciation, because what do we want? A cookie. So we keep moving forward. Marquis says, we as men, especially as Black men, we know how to keep on functioning. But if verbally appreciated, we'll go even further. Wow.
Yeah. I 1000%.
Wow.
I agree with those sentiments.
Wow. So it's almost like you're saying you don't necessarily need it to keep doing whatever it is that you are doing. You will do it regardless of, but when you do it and you get the affirmation or the encouragement or the appreciation, you have more, you feel more inclined to keep doing it and keep doing it better, because you know that there's appreciation there.
Yeah, I think personally, men are going to do and go beyond the call of duty for the person that they love. And they're going to keep doing it, and they're going to keep trying to make things as comfortable as fine, wash the dishes, clean the kitchen, clean the bathroom, and just do it right for the person that they love, because they can see that person appreciates it by just their face, just being able to see you come home and relax, just seeing your happiness. Now, I do think that if it's not for somebody they love, or it's for somebody that they're trying to get to love them, or it's a new relationship, or it's something that's fresh, and a brother's going out of his way doing this and doing that, then I think it's going to get to a point where it's like, yo, in his mind, he's probably like, yo, this woman, she just walk around willy-nilly, and I'm doing all this stuff for her. She ain't saying thank you. She ain't not grateful. I'm paying for dinner, all this stuff. I think that's when it's different.
Gotcha.
But I think in a loving, healthy marriage or relationship, a brother's going to do what he has to do because he honors his wife.
Gotcha.
And he's going to do it without thanks. Because I think that's just how some men are brought up, and some men are wired. Like, this is what you're supposed to do. Don't look for no reward. Don't look for no cookie or anything like that. But if a cookie or a reward comes, we're not going to sit there like, I don't want no cookie. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't want no reward.
That's right. I don't want no reward. We're going to sit there and appreciate it, be motivated by it, because you acknowledged us.
So when does it become a moment in time where you feel like resentment is starting to come in? Like, we're not talking about dating, right? You're in a long-lasting marriage. When do you get to the point where it's like, yo, I feel unappreciated?
Yeah, I think it gets to that point when we begin to, or when I begin to see you not appreciating what was done by your facial expressions, by your attitude. Like, if you just like disregard it or just look, it's just disregarded. Where it's almost like, how do I say it? All right, let's see.
Let's say I ask you to clean the bathroom, which you absolutely hate to do.
Right.
Right. It's taking you out of, it's something you don't like to do.
If I clean, I clean the bathroom and you come home, you be like, this is what you call clean?
Oh, shoot.
Like,
right.
Or if I open the door for you and you sit in the car, and then one day, like, I got mad stuff in my hand and you're just like, so you're not gonna open my door? Like, I think when it gets to that kind of tension, there's like a certain tension or that, but like, for example, perfect example is the bathroom. If I clean the bathroom, I'm here and I don't like doing it.
Right.
And you just off top, you just come in on some old, I thought you cleaned the bathroom. This is what you call clean? Not start with, yo, thank you for cleaning it. Mm-hmm. I would have done it this way. And even how you appreciate it would, and things like that.
Gotcha. Okay. I think I'm clear. And I hope you ladies are clear as well. I think I'm clear now as to the difference between women and men in terms of what, when they feel taken for granted. I think for me, let me say for me, if I think resentment starts to come in when you are pretty much like, if you're doing the same thing where you're just like, why does this place look like this? Right. I'm working just as hard as you are. I'm doing all the things as much as you are. And then you're like blaming me to say, well, hey, I thought this was supposed to be done like this and it's not done like that. Off the bat is like a hell no. Mm-hmm. Right. But what if it's subtle to the point, I shouldn't be even asking you this because this is more like females. I feel like it becomes tense when in that moment that I just said, but I feel like when as a female, like I'm doing all the things and it's not an acknowledgement that I'm doing all the things, I feel like that is when it starts to eat at me. That's when it starts to eat at me, as well as going back to what I was saying. I know that for me in the beginning of our marriage, the immature part of me said, you're supposed to know when to appreciate me. I'm not supposed to say anything to you in per se. If you come home to a clean house every single day, or if you come home to, and this sounds so like back in the day, if you come home to food cooked every single day, right? Then it would be nice to hear, thank you so much for all that you do, especially because as women, for me, I feel like as a Black woman, I juggle so much, and this strong Black woman is like, is what I'm charged with, right? Like I'm charged with being the strong Black woman, just like you guys are being just like it's being the strong Black man. But I feel like sometimes, I know for me at the beginning, I was trying to juggle it all, hold it all. And so when I don't communicate to you, when I didn't communicate to you, that's what would happen.
But some brothers might say the fact that I ate the food should mean I appreciate you.
No.
Like if you cooked and a brother come home and he eat all that food, he kill it. I'm sure in his brain, he's probably like, that's the greatest compliment that I can give to my spouse, that I ate her cooking.
I think, okay, let me leave it in the atmosphere. Folks, women, you heard that?
I like Ed Innocent's point. I mean, this probably goes in both worlds for men and women, but I know for a fact the worst thing to do is to critique on someone's effort.
Yeah.
I will shut down.
Yeah, that's probably the worst thing to do. Yeah. You are right about that, Edner. That's definitely the worst thing you can do.
Marquise said, didn't go to McDonald's before coming home.
My God.
That's appreciation.
You trying to start trouble on this thing here, Marquise.
I ain't get that Big Mac before I came home.
Yeah, I feel like it goes beyond that. Maybe that's like the basic thing, right? Just because you ate my food means that you appreciate. Not for me. That doesn't show appreciation for me. Appreciation for me would be,
thank you for cooking.
thank you so much for making this meal. Thank you for your sacrifice, or thank you for thinking about me in this moment, that you didn't let me have to go and stop at McDonald's, but instead I came home to a home cooked meal, right? I think that is what matters to me, not the fact that you sitting there stuffing your face because it's food, right?
It's funny you said that, because I wonder if like appreciation looks different
For everyone.
for everyone. Or I wonder if appreciation looks different for men than it does for women.
It depends. I feel like it depends on the person. I think male or female. I think everybody has their own way of feeling appreciated. I don't think it's just one size fit all based on gender. Because some people may want a verbal compliment. Some might want you to in action, right? If appreciation would be, I cooked the meal, right? Now you clean the kitchen, right? You clean up the kitchen. That's appreciation.
Without being prompted.
Without being prompted or being asked. Like all of a sudden, as soon as everybody's finished eating a meal, automatically you're cleaning up the kitchen, so I don't have to clean up the kitchen. That's almost like you're not taking me for granted. Take me for granted would be you sitting there rubbing your belly talking about, yes, that was a good meal, and then you're like about to go watch TV while
burp.
I'm still in the kitchen trying to clean up the mess.
No,
nah.
After you eat, you belch, burp. That's appreciation.
Nah, that's not gonna work.
So I'm also wondering right now, this question, and this could probably be another episode, that our desire or our need for appreciation and affirmation, is it rooted in our childhood or in moments in our life of feeling like words help me feel valued. Some people, actions help me feel valued. And because maybe as a child or as a teenager or whatever, these were things that I never got from my family, or this is the way my family showed their appreciation for each other. Like we always had kind words, things like that. And then does that expectation trickle into a marriage where it's like, I grew up, nobody said thank you. We just did it. I grew up, everybody, we were intentional about everybody, whatever they did, they were acknowledged, they were affirmed, and we felt good for doing that.
Yeah, I definitely think it has your childhood, your upbringing, definitely plays a role in everything. I think that's why it's so important. As you were talking, I was like, man, that's why it's so important to have counseling before you get married or you're even thinking about marriage. I think it's so important, even before getting married to someone, finding a counselor or a therapist to kind of help you work through, those expectations that you had, and even the expectations that you have for your future spouse. Because I think it's important for you to talk through those things at the beginning, at least a little bit of it, as much as you can, because you walk into the marriage with the expectations of, oh, well, this is how I did it in my house, or this is how I was accustomed to hearing it in my house. And that person is like, well, that's not how I heard it, or that's not my experience. So I think communication and counseling are like key
right,
to having a successful marriage where you don't feel like you're being taken for granted. Yeah. It's true. You're right, Marquise. We've had to trivialize words from the sticks and stones saying, but words have life and death to them. Yes. Like legit, Jamie could say something to me and I could feel like he completely stabbed me in my chest. you know, that's how much words have really, they hold a lot. Cam says, absolutely. In pre-engagement counseling, our counselor had us go through our childhoods, how we were raised, and talk to us about, and we had to go back to our great grandparents to understand family history. And if there were similarities, we worked through tools and resources to address those things if we noticed them. So yeah, those conversations are super important in building our foundation as a married couple. They are very, very, very good. There are some things that we wrote down that things that we feel would make us feel unappreciated. Ooh, sorry. Not appreciated. So we'll kind of go back and forth.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Doesn't support me.
Okay. So Jamie's like, if you want to just elaborate a little bit.
Yeah, I think if there's an effort that I'm trying to do, or there's like a career goal, or just something that I talk to you about, and you just kind of dismiss it or ignore it or not respond to it, then I feel like that can cause the feelings of underappreciated, undervalued, and can lead to some sort of resentment and disappointment.
Doesn't take the time to acknowledge my contribution to our home. So that's like super important. That I know that I believe have we talked about that before?
Yeah.
In general, I feel like we have.
Yeah.
I feel like we have, like at the beginning of our marriage, we talked about that. And one of the things that I know that I love is that, I love to clean. I love to clean. Like cleaning is my thing. I just love the way it feels after cleaning an entire house. I just love that feeling. And I also love the feeling of after cleaning, Jamie comes home and he acknowledges, he was like, man, this house looks amazing. Or man, this house looks great. Like that is like, that's a great way that he shows that he is appreciating the hard work that I've done. And also another thing that he, like when it is time for him to clean, like whenever we take turns cleaning, like being able to walk into space and be like, oh my gosh, like you cleaned, oh my gosh. And I just have a moment. And I'm just so appreciative of the fact that sometimes he even takes initiative where I don't even have to ask him. Like sometimes, this is my favorite part, guys. Sometimes Jamie will surprise me and just clean. Like if I'm out and then I come home and I'm like, oh my gosh, you cleaned, oh my gosh. And he likes doing that stuff.
I do not like cleaning.
He don't like cleaning, but let me tell you something. This brother can clean. You hear me? This brother can clean. I appreciate him for that.
I love to clean for you.
Yes.
Doesn't compliment or say thank you. I think that is number one on everybody's list. And that's across the board. That's not just in a relationship. If you do something at work, if you do something anywhere, and particularly but especially in a marriage, that your significant other does not thank you or compliment you, that can leave you feeling really crappy.
Yeah. Doesn't ask my opinion. Yeah. Excluding me from the ability to not express my thoughts towards this particular thing or particular topic or situation feels almost like, dang, like, is my opinion not good enough in this moment? So yeah, that's another thing that makes me feel like not appreciated.
And last but definitely not least, does not show affection.
Mercy.
I think Celia brought it up, like love language, and how do we respond to each other's love language? That affection, is it touch? Is it words? Is it gifts? Is it whatever it is? I think we should be intentional about respecting each other's love language and be intentional about acknowledging it and affirming each other and show affection, a hug, a kiss, something to show that you appreciate your significant other. I think it helps, and it goes a long way to prevent feeling underappreciated.
Yeah. And so we kind of just did this exercise where we just kind of talk through before coming on, just kind of talk through like what things do make us feel appreciated, what things don't make us feel appreciated. And we hope that you guys will do too, because I feel like it's a great check-in, because they've changed as we've aged, or as our marriage has aged. It feels as though like they change, like there are things that may need to be tweaked. And so I think it will be a great exercise for you guys if you want to do it. If not, oh well. But I do think it's so important to remain in communication with each other regarding, how did that person make you feel appreciated? It's so easy for us to take our spouses for granted because they're in the space. And sometimes when you're juggling life, when you're doing kids, when you're doing work, when you're doing other things, other responsibilities, it can sometimes get in the way of being able to see your spouse and see the hard work it is that they're doing. And just in the simplicity, it can be something that's simple, that in the moment you say, yo, I see you. Something simple. I see you. I see what you're doing. And I just want you to know that I love and I appreciate all it is that you are doing for our family. And I think it goes a long way, as Marquise and the others were saying, like that one thing, that one sentiment can take you further in terms of like wanting to keep going, wanting to keep doing what it is that you're doing.
That's right. And I think like this is a great point to close on. Life will try to divide the marriage. Don't let life divide your marriage.
Yes, it will. It is easy to get caught up in the hustle and the bustle. It is so easy. And I think another one we did not put on here, Jamie, is taking time, being intentional about taking that time away from life. Taking pauses, going on vacation. Those are also a way to show appreciation to your spouse, to say, I appreciate you so much that I've planned out this particular time, whether it's a staycation or is a romantic getaway. Those are also great ways to show appreciation for your spouse, because sometimes life really will get you going, and taking those moments to see each other in an intimate way, I think definitely allows your marriage to keep going, to keep growing, and to keep, thriving. So, okay, Marquise says 10 years in May. Okay, we were married in May as well. May what, Marquise? I'm interested to know. We're May 11th. So we're about to be celebrating how many years, Jamie? Watch this. Watch this.
Because you don't know.
Watch this.
Because you don't do that.
Jamie.
Obviously, I know it's going to be 16 years in marriage.
Really?
Yes.
Are you sure?
We got married in 2008.
You sure it's not 17?
Nope.
Oh, Marquise says May 23rd. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
Congrats.
10 years. That's good time right there. Oh, wow. Rodney says December 17th will be 18 years. Wow. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
18. That's a whole adult.
Congratulations.
Celia. I think it's Celia, not Celia. I don't know. Celia, vacations are key. 20 years for us in August. Oh my gosh.
Congratulations.
And with 4 little ones, once we started vacationing, life got so much happier. Say that. You just said a whole word.
Cam, July 1st, 12 years. Congratulations.
Dang, Rodney. Dang.
Yeah, now
Why you had to, now you're going to change up. You put him out on blast. He said 18 before.
We put it on the broadcast. If she watches it.
Be like, oops.
Right.
That's messed up. July 1st, Cam, 12 years. Wow. So far, it seems as though Celia has the longest marriage as she's watching.
20 years
that's watching.
In the making. Congratulations.
That's super awesome. But Celia, that's a word. And maybe that's something that we can talk about in another episode of sorts. Taking vacations and how important vacations are in the health of your marriage.
Facts.
To keeping your marriage healthy.
Oh
wow. Sister Patifa just came and just, dang, 38 years.
Congratulations.
38 years. That is amazing. My gosh. That is amazing. 38 years. Wow. I can't wait for us to get to. She said it wasn't easy. I know that's right.
That's right.
Well, marriage ain't easy. We know that thing, but I'm sure it was worth it all. 38 years in September. That's amazing. But yeah, so not next time, but we'll talk about vacations. We probably need to have someone come on here and give us a whatchamacallit?
A free vacation?
I mean, hello, somebody. No, like a great way for families to vacation using different, things. You know what I mean? Like somebody coming on and like giving the 411 on how to vacation as a family on a budget. I think that would be great. She said 7 years of courting equals 45. Oh, dear. That's amazing. That's amazing. But yeah, so that would be great to talk about. I'm sorry. She says plus 7 years of courting equals 45 years together. And Marquise is like, I'm 45 in October. So essentially, for as long as Marquise has been alive, it's as long as Sister Patafit and her husband has been together as a couple. Wow. Okay. Cam says, anybody vacationing without kids yet? We're waiting for that day. Hold on, don't let go. Hold on, Cam. Your time will come. I mean, you can vacation with the kids. Just understand it is not the same as you going with your husband. But you can vacation with kids. It's just their vacation, not yours. But yeah. All right. I think our time has come to an end. This has been a great conversation. We hope that you guys will join us back on next week. Next week, will we be here next week?
We'll be here.
We'll be here talking about something else that's juicy. We can't wait to share it with you guys. But have an awesome week. Have an awesome Saturday. And this is Carlene.
And this is Jamie.
Peace.
Peace. Congratulations.
3, 2, 1.
Wait.
Did it go off?
No.